One of the unexpected challenges of retirement for me was to discover that it required a whole new sense of rhythm in my life. I had sort of anticipated that, but it caught me off guard as how drastically I had to change my behaviors. As many of you know, I'm an avid woodcarver, and I had prepared in advance to create a business of carving wood in my retirement, and that has worked well, except for the fact that my anticipation was that I would substitute my 12, 14, 16-hour days of ministry into a kind of leisurely 8-hour day of wood carving. What I discovered was I can't do that. Physically, I cannot carve for 8 hours a day, as much as I want to do that. It cripples me, and then I can't carve at all. So I began to explore and experiment. Well, how long can I carve at one time before the pain starts? And what I discovered was that it was about a half hour to 45 minutes. And so what I did is I bought a timer and I set it for a half hour. When it goes off, I stop carving. I become very disciplined because I recognize if I don't, I can't carve. And that has worked well. Early on, what I did with that next hour or so that I took off of carving was to fill it with things to do. Some days I read, some days I answered emails, paid bills, responded to correspondence, mowed the lawn, shoveled snow in the winter. I filled that second body of time with stuff to do. Because after all, why waste that time? And then I'd go back carving, and it would work. What I've fallen into in recent weeks is not filling that time, but to enjoy the pause. Some days I listen to classical music. Some days I enjoy a cup of coffee. Some days I do both. But many days I simply sit and listen. A pause. A time of reflection. A time of rest. A time to breathe. And what I discovered in that was that when I came back to my carving, it was different. I saw things. I was able to create things that were not there before. There was a deeper sense of the work that I was doing in my creativity. And this surprised me. It shouldn't have. I mean, I've been preaching Sabbath moments for most of my ministry, but, as it goes, physician, heal yourself. But that pause has been critical to the other work that I want to do. Whether it's writing or carving or painting or preaching, it opens me up we find this also in the Gospels with Jesus. How many times do we hear Jesus went away to a lonely place to be by himself and to pray? The pressures of his day and our day are immense. We are driven by the world around us. And we have sacrificed our creativity, our inspiration, our innovation. Even the Fortune 500 companies are beginning to recognize the need for a pause. And what we find in the Gospels is that when Jesus comes back from those pauses, sometimes he's interrupted in the middle of those, but when he comes back, he is ready to do some incredible ministry. Oftentimes recognizing needs that perhaps he wouldn't have recognized before, or to have solutions that he may not have thought about before. One of the classic things for him to do is to recognize the needs of the people that have gathered. How many times do the disciples want to send the crowds away? And Jesus says, no, have them sit down. Let's feed them. They are weary and they need rest. And with as little as a few fish and some bread, he gives them what they need. A pause. Maybe once in the day. Maybe once every couple hours. To breathe. To listen. To pray. But more importantly, simply to be. That God may continue to inspire and to fill us with love and hope and courage and inspiration to meet the challenges of the next 45 minutes. And so I encourage you this day, find a moment, hit the pause button, and breathe. Amen.